Success is often measured by the results we achieve, not by the words we speak. Many people talk about their goals, their dreams, and what they plan to do. But the truth is, it's not the talking that leads to success. It's the action that creates results. In a world full of promises and aspirations, those who quietly produce focus and show the outcome of their efforts are the ones who truly stand out. Today, I'm going to tell you why it's time to stop telling people what you do and start showing them the results. Success isn't about boasting about your plans. It's about making progress and letting that progress do the talking for you. So instead of explaining your every move, focus on creating outcomes that speak louder than words ever could. Stay with me for the next few minutes as I walk you through the power of actions over words, the importance of consistency, and how showing your results is the most powerful way to define your success. Ready to let your results do the talking? Let's dive in. Number 1, the power of action over words. We live in a world where talking has become almost second nature. Everyone has something to say about their dreams, goals, and aspirations. We hear people say, "I want to become successful," or "I'm working on a big project." While these words are inspiring, they don't hold the weight of true progress. It's easy to talk about what we want to achieve, but the real difference is made by taking action. Action is the true measure of progress. The truth is, success doesn't come from words. It comes from the steps you take to make those words a reality. Many people spend their time talking about their goals and plans, but they never take the necessary steps to achieve them. This creates the illusion of progress, but in reality, it's just empty promises. On the other hand, those who quietly go about their work, without the need to constantly explain themselves, are the ones who create real results. The power of action is that it speaks louder than any words ever could. It doesn't require validation or approval. When you take action and make progress, the results speak for themselves. It doesn't matter if no one else knows what you're working on. What matters is that you're moving toward your goal with persistence and determination. Success isn't about telling people what you're going to do. It's about showing them what you've done. It's easy to get caught up in telling people your ideas or plans, but the truth is, no one will remember the things you say unless you back them up with actions. Take a moment to think about the people who inspire you. Are they the ones who talk about their dreams, or are they the ones who show what they've accomplished? More often than not, the people who inspire us the most are those who let their actions do the talking. Think of any successful entrepreneur, athlete, or artist. They didn't gain respect or recognition by simply talking about their goals. They earned it through hard work and dedication. Their results were the proof of their abilities. The truth is, actions will always have more impact than words. You can talk about what you want to do all day, but unless you take action to make it happen, those words remain empty. So stop waiting for the right moment to talk about your goals. Start taking action, even if it's just small steps at a time. The moment you shift your focus from talking to doing is the moment you begin to create meaningful change. Remember, people will always be watching, but they'll be watching your results, not your words. Your results are the ultimate proof of your hard work and determination, and they are what will truly set you apart. Number 2, the truth about consistency. Consistency is the cornerstone of success. Many people believe that achieving their dreams or goals is a matter of making huge, dramatic leaps. But the truth is that success is built on the steady, small steps taken over time. The most successful individuals didn't reach their accomplishments by working tirelessly for a brief period and then taking long breaks. Rather, they achieved greatness by showing up every day, no matter how they felt, and consistently doing the work. Whether it's working toward a personal goal or building a career, consistency is what creates lasting results. It's the consistent effort, the little things that add up over time, that lead to remarkable outcomes. In the beginning, the results of consistency may not be apparent. You might work tirelessly on something day after day, and yet the changes seem small, almost invisible. You may even start to doubt whether your efforts are worth it. However, the beauty of consistency lies in the way it compounds. Just like saving a small amount of money every day, even when it feels insignificant, over time those efforts accumulate into something much greater. The same applies to success. Every task, every effort, and every ounce of work you put in has a ripple effect that will eventually lead to noticeable results. The challenge lies in remaining consistent, when the rewards aren't immediate. Many people give up too soon because they don't see instant results, or worse, they look at others who seem to be achieving things faster and feel discouraged. The truth is, those who achieve success overnight are the exception, not the rule. The vast majority of successful people have invested years of consistent effort into their craft before their work started to pay off. For example, consider the countless athletes who train for years before they see any success in competitions, or the entrepreneurs who spend years refining their businesses before they experience substantial growth. They didn't achieve their results by focusing on one big effort. They stayed committed day in and day out until they were able to look back and see just how far they had come. Think of consistency as the silent partner in your success journey. It may not always get the applause or recognition that big milestones receive, but it's the silent work that makes the achievements possible. Without consistency, all the talent, ambition, and passion in the world would remain unfulfilled. It's the effort you put in consistently, even when no one is watching, that separates the dreamers from the doers. It's easy to be motivated when things are going well or when the end result seems close, but true success requires showing up when the excitement fades, when the work feels repetitive, and when the road ahead still feels long. One of the biggest mistakes people make is expecting big results too quickly. They see a finished product, whether it's a successful business, a polished work of art, or a fit physique, and they forget that the person who created that result was probably working for years, building habits and putting in hours of effort. They fail to realize that every small, consistent action adds up over time. The path to success is not linear. It's filled with ups and downs, periods of slow progress, and even setbacks. But when you show up consistently, even during the tough times, you're laying the foundation for success. The people who succeed over the long term are those who are willing to keep working toward their goals, even when it's not easy. It's those who embrace the grind, knowing that every small step forward counts. They understand that success is not a one-time event, but a series of actions and decisions that build upon one another. By staying committed to their vision and continuously putting in the effort, they eventually reach their destination, even if it takes longer than they initially expected. Consistency doesn't mean you have to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes along the way, and that's okay. The key is to keep moving forward, even when things don't go according to plan. It's about making progress, not achieving perfection. The process itself is what creates lasting change and improvement. Each day is an opportunity to get better, even if that improvement is small. When you embrace consistency, you begin to see results, not just in the form of achievements, but in the growth you experience as a person. The steady effort, the commitment to showing up day after day, transforms you into someone who has built the mental toughness and resilience to face challenges and continue working toward their goals no matter what. So remember this: if you want to achieve something meaningful, focus on being consistent. Success isn't about making grand gestures or big sudden leaps. It's about making small, consistent moves toward your goals every single day, knowing that over time those moves will lead to significant progress and ultimately success. Be patient, stay committed, and let consistency guide you toward your desired results. Number 3, the trap of seeking validation. One of the biggest distractions on the road to success is the desire for validation. It's natural to want recognition and approval for the work we do. But when seeking validation becomes the primary motivation, it can undermine our progress and hold us back from achieving real success. Too often, people fall into the trap of talking about their goals or sharing their plans, not because they genuinely want to pursue them, but because they're hoping to receive affirmation from others. This desire for validation can manifest in many forms: seeking praise for your ideas, constantly explaining your progress, or waiting for someone to acknowledge your hard work. While validation from others can feel good in the moment, it's ultimately fleeting and unreliable. It's like a temporary boost that doesn't last, leaving you hungry for more external approval and less focused on the true work that needs to be done. The problem with seeking validation is that it shifts your focus from the result you're trying to achieve to the perception others have of you. Instead of concentrating on the actions and habits that will lead to success, you begin to spend energy on crafting the perfect image or telling others about your plans. The attention you're seeking may feel gratifying, but it distracts you from the real goal, which is creating tangible results. You end up wasting time and energy trying to impress others, only to find that the recognition you receive isn't enough to sustain long-term success. When your worth is tied to external validation, you risk becoming dependent on others' opinions. This dependency can be dangerous, as it prevents you from standing confidently in your own abilities and the work you're doing. Seeking validation can make you feel uncertain and insecure, as you rely on others to define your value. It's easy to become discouraged when the acknowledgement you expect doesn't come, or when people don't react the way you hoped. If you build your self-esteem on external praise, you're setting yourself up for disappointment when that praise doesn't arrive as often as you would like. True success, however, comes when you learn to validate yourself. Instead of looking for external affirmation, you become your own source of motivation. You find satisfaction and confidence in the work itself, and in the process of making progress. When you rely on yourself for validation, you no longer feel the need to explain your actions or ask for approval. You trust your own judgment and know that your efforts are enough. This self-reliance builds resilience and allows you to keep moving forward, regardless of what others think or say. Some of the most successful people in the world, from entrepreneurs to artists to athletes, have one thing in common. They didn't need constant external validation to drive them forward. They were driven by their own internal motivations, their passion, their purpose, and their desire to make an impact. These individuals didn't spend time explaining themselves or seeking approval. Instead, they worked tirelessly toward their goals, and the results eventually spoke for themselves. Their success wasn't a product of external validation, but rather a direct result of their commitment to their work and their willingness to keep going, even when others didn't recognize their efforts. Learning to stop seeking validation doesn't mean you shut yourself off from feedback or support from others. It simply means that you stop relying on that feedback to define your worth or dictate your progress. You start to measure success by the results you produce, not by how many people acknowledge your efforts along the way. Validation should come from within, as you recognize the value of your own work and progress. This self-assurance helps you push through the challenges and setbacks that are inevitable on any journey to success, knowing that your efforts are worthwhile regardless of the recognition you receive. It's also important to note that validation often leads to comparison. When we look to others for approval, it's easy to start measuring our success against theirs. This comparison can be toxic, as it breeds envy and self-doubt. It distracts you from your own unique path, and instead of focusing on your own progress, you're caught up in how you measure up to others. This can prevent you from seeing your own growth and achievements, because you're too focused on where you stand in comparison to someone else. It's important to remember that your journey is unique, and success doesn't look the same for everyone. In order to break free from the trap of seeking validation, focus on your own progress and results. Stop explaining your actions to others and start letting your results speak for themselves. The moment you stop seeking approval from others is the moment you unlock true freedom and progress. Embrace the satisfaction that comes from within, knowing that your work is valuable regardless of external recognition. Keep your eyes on the ultimate goal, to create meaningful, lasting results that are a reflection of your hard work and dedication. This internal validation will be far more powerful and sustaining than any external applause you might receive along the way. Number 4. The power of letting your results speak. One of the most powerful lessons in achieving success is understanding the importance of letting your results speak for themselves. The world is full of talkers, people who love to share their ideas, boast about their goals, or explain their plans. However, the real power comes not from explaining what you intend to do, but from actually doing it and showing the outcome of your efforts. The results you achieve are the true testament to your abilities, and they convey far more than words ever could. People respect and admire results because they are tangible and undeniable. When you let your results do the talking, you create a lasting impact that speaks volumes without uttering a single word. Too often, people feel the need to constantly tell others about their plans or ambitions. They feel compelled to explain what they are working on, seeking validation, attention, or approval. While there is nothing wrong with sharing your journey, the real value lies in delivering on the promises you make. Talking about your dreams is easy. Achieving them is what sets you apart. The key to making your mark in any field is to focus less on explaining yourself and more on producing results. The power of your work will naturally attract attention, and when it does, you'll find that people are far more impressed by the outcomes than by the plans you discussed in the past. Let's think about some of the most successful individuals throughout history. People like Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, and Oprah Winfrey didn't rise to prominence by constantly talking about their vision. They did so by taking action, overcoming obstacles, and ultimately delivering something tangible. Steve Jobs didn't need to tell the world that Apple would revolutionize technology. He showed them through the creation of iconic products that changed the way we interact with technology. Similarly, Elon Musk didn't sit around discussing the potential of space exploration. He started SpaceX and proved that private companies could lead the way in space travel. These individuals didn't waste their time explaining their ambitions to everyone. They let their results do the talking. When you focus on results instead of explanations, you position yourself as someone who is reliable, determined, and capable. Your work, your progress, and the impact you make become your true credentials. No amount of talking can replace the trust that comes from tangible results. Results show people what you are capable of, and they build a reputation that is based on actual accomplishments, not just words. When you constantly talk about your goals or ideas without following through with action, you risk coming across as all talk and no action. On the other hand, when you let your results speak for themselves, you earn respect through your actions. And that respect is far more powerful and lasting than any validation you could receive from others. This shift in focus from talking about what you want to do to letting your results speak can be incredibly freeing. It takes the pressure off having to constantly explain yourself or justify your actions. Instead of feeling the need to keep others updated on your progress, you can simply focus on doing the work. As you continue to produce, your results will naturally get noticed. And when people begin to see what you're capable of, they'll start to take you more seriously and will be more inclined to follow your lead. In a world filled with distractions and noise, your ability to produce results will always be what sets you apart. The beauty of letting your results speak is that they transcend words. Whether it's in business, sports, art, or any other field, the outcomes of your work leave a lasting impression. Results are something that people can see, touch, and feel. They have substance. Words, on the other hand, can be fleeting and easily forgotten. People may forget what you said, but they will always remember what you did and what you achieved. When your actions speak for you, your reputation is built on your capability, and your value is evident in the results you create. Of course, this doesn't mean you should completely avoid sharing your journey with others. It's important to celebrate milestones and share successes with your community or team. However, it's vital to understand that the focus should always be on the results themselves. The more you produce, the less you will need to explain or justify. Your success will be evident, and people will naturally take notice. In the end, the power of letting your results speak for themselves is not just about proving others wrong or seeking recognition. It's about building a foundation of credibility and trust. It's about showing up, putting in the work, and allowing the outcomes of your efforts to showcase your abilities. When you focus on creating exceptional results, you will find that you no longer need to talk about what you do. You will simply let your work speak for itself, and that in itself is the greatest form of success. Number 5, the importance of patience in achieving success. Success is rarely an overnight phenomenon. In fact, one of the most important qualities you need to cultivate on the road to success is patience. In a world where instant gratification is constantly promoted, the concept of patience can often seem outdated or unnecessary. We live in an age where we expect things to happen quickly, whether it's making money, gaining followers, or reaching a goal. But the truth is that success takes time, and the journey is often far longer and more complicated than we expect. Patience is not just about waiting passively, it's about staying committed and consistent over the long haul, even when the results don't come immediately or when the road gets tough. When we embark on any journey towards success, we naturally want to see progress as quickly as possible. We want to know that the hard work we're putting in today will pay off tomorrow. But more often than not, the results of our efforts are not immediately visible. The process of mastering a skill, building a business, or achieving a long-term goal requires persistence, effort, and above all, time. And it is during these periods of waiting, when the results aren't yet visible, that patience becomes crucial. Without patience, we can easily become discouraged or lose focus when the results don't come as quickly as we expected. Patience is also a vital part of the process of growth. In the beginning stages of any pursuit, we are often faced with challenges that require time to overcome. Whether it's learning a new skill, developing a product, or building relationships, there are always obstacles to navigate. In these moments, it's easy to feel like progress is slow or non-existent. But patience teaches us that growth is not linear. Success comes with its own rhythm, and that rhythm requires us to trust the process. There are no shortcuts to mastering something or building something meaningful. The only way to achieve real success is by sticking with it through the ups and downs, understanding that each step, no matter how small, is part of the larger journey. One of the biggest pitfalls people face on the road to success is impatience. They may start something with great enthusiasm and energy, only to give up when they don't see immediate results. Or they may jump from one project to another, never staying with one long enough to see it through. In today's fast-paced world, it's tempting to want everything now, and when that doesn't happen, we become frustrated or discouraged. But patience teaches us to accept the reality that success is not a race. It's a process, one that requires time, dedication, and an understanding that good things take time to come to fruition. This is where the idea of delayed gratification comes into play. Delayed gratification is the ability to resist the urge for an immediate reward in favor of a later, often greater, reward. People who are patient understand that the best results are not always the easiest or fastest to achieve. They are willing to wait, knowing that their efforts will eventually pay off. This mindset can be a game changer. Instead of focusing on what you don't have or what you haven't achieved yet, you begin to focus on the journey itself, trusting that each day of hard work is leading you toward your goal. It's the belief that the effort you put in today, though it may seem small or insignificant, will compound over time into something much bigger. Another important aspect of patience is learning to enjoy the process. While it's natural to focus on the end goal, the real value often lies in the journey itself. Every moment spent learning, growing, and overcoming obstacles is an opportunity for personal development. Patience allows you to embrace the process, enjoy the small victories, and learn from the setbacks. Instead of rushing toward the destination, you learn to savor the steps along the way. You start to understand that success is not just about reaching a certain point. It's about who you become in the process. Patience also teaches resilience. There will be times when you face failure, when things don't go according to plan, or when the road ahead seems impossibly long. In these moments, patience helps you to stay steady, to keep moving forward even when things feel uncertain. It's the ability to weather the storms and stay committed to the course. Without patience, it's easy to become overwhelmed by setbacks and give up when things get tough. But with patience, you develop the mental fortitude to keep going, knowing that success requires persistence, and that every step forward, no matter how small, is a step toward achieving your goal. Ultimately, success is not about how quickly you can get to the top. It's about the journey and the lessons you learn along the way. It's about the patience to wait for the right opportunities, the discipline to keep going even when it's difficult, and the understanding that success is not about instant rewards, but about long-term fulfillment. So as you pursue your dreams, remember that patience is key. Trust the process, stay committed, and know that with time, effort, and patience, your results will eventually speak for themselves. Number 6, the power of consistency. One of the most powerful yet underrated principles for achieving long-term success is consistency. While talent, skill, and luck may play a part, it is consistency that separates the successful from the unsuccessful. Consistency means showing up day in and day out. No matter how you feel or what challenges you face, it's about committing to your goals with unwavering dedication and making progress, even if it's just a little bit every day. Consistency creates momentum, and momentum is what drives results over time. The results you see in your life are directly correlated to the actions you take consistently, not the occasional bursts of effort you put in. Think about the way habits are formed. They don't happen overnight. They are built through consistent action over time. Whether you're trying to get in better shape, learn a new skill, or build a business, consistency is the glue that holds everything together. The beauty of consistency lies in its simplicity. It's not about doing something extraordinary every single day. It's about doing something small yet meaningful every single day. These small actions compound over time, gradually building the foundation for larger, more impactful results. Over time, what seemed like insignificant actions can add up to something incredible. Take fitness, for example. You won't see dramatic changes overnight, But by exercising consistently, even for just a few minutes each day, you'll eventually start to see noticeable improvements in your health and physique. The key here is that the improvements happen over time, and they are the result of consistent effort. The same principle applies to any area of your life. Whether you're writing a book, growing your business, or learning a new language, success doesn't come from occasional bursts of effort. It comes from showing up consistently, even when progress feels slow or invisible. In today's world where instant gratification is the norm, it's easy to become impatient and discouraged if we don't see immediate results. We often compare our journey to others who seem to be achieving success faster, leading us to question our own progress. However, consistency reminds us that success is a marathon, not a sprint. Most of the time, it's the people who stay committed over the long haul who eventually succeed. The power of consistency lies in its ability to push you through the tough moments, even when it feels like you're not making progress. It helps you build resilience, discipline, and a work ethic that ensures you stay on track, no matter the circumstances. Consistency also breeds confidence. When you show up every day working toward your goals, you start to develop a sense of pride and accomplishment. You begin to trust yourself more, knowing that you are doing the work, no matter how small it may seem in the moment. This self-trust is crucial because it builds a sense of internal motivation. You know that every small action is adding up and moving you closer to your goal. This confidence propels you forward, even in the face of setbacks or challenges. The consistency of your efforts becomes the bedrock of your success, ensuring that you never lose sight of your ultimate goal. Moreover, consistency helps you develop expertise and mastery in any field. No one becomes a true expert without putting in the time and effort to practice their craft consistently. Whether you're an athlete, an artist, a writer, or an entrepreneur, consistency is what allows you to refine your skills and improve over time. It's the repeated, deliberate practice that turns good into great, average into exceptional. The more consistently you put in the work, the more refined and effective your abilities become. It's not about doing things perfectly. It's about doing them regularly and improving bit by bit with every effort. The key to consistency is commitment. It requires you to stay dedicated to your goals, even when it feels challenging or when results seem far away. It means creating a routine or schedule that ensures you're consistently working toward your objectives, no matter how busy or distracted you might feel. Consistency doesn't require perfection. It simply requires regularity. It's about making progress, even if it's incremental, and showing up for your goals every day. In the world of entrepreneurship, consistency can be a game changer. Many people try to succeed by jumping from one idea to another, constantly looking for the next big opportunity. While exploring different avenues is important, the real breakthrough often comes from staying consistent with one idea or project long enough to give it a chance to grow. It's easy to get distracted by new trends or shiny objects, but those who stay the course, putting in the work day after day, are the ones who ultimately reap the rewards. Finally, consistency helps you build trust with others. Whether you're working with clients, building a brand, or leading a team, your ability to show up consistently builds credibility and reliability. People trust those who demonstrate consistency because they know what to expect. This trust is invaluable in both personal and professional relationships. It's not about making grand gestures or promises. It's about showing up consistently, doing what you say you'll do, and proving that you can be relied upon. Ultimately, the power of consistency lies in its ability to create lasting change. The small, consistent actions you take today will compound and pay off in the future. Success is not about sporadic bursts of effort. It's about the everyday commitment to doing the work. If you make consistency a habit, you will find that the results speak for themselves. Through consistent effort, you will build the foundation for a life of success and fulfillment. Number 7, overcoming self-doubt and embracing confidence. One of the greatest challenges many people face on their journey to success is self-doubt. It's an insidious force that creeps into our thoughts and holds us back from reaching our full potential. No matter how talented, educated, or capable we are, self-doubt has the power to paralyze us, preventing us from taking action, making decisions, or pursuing our dreams. The truth is, self-doubt is a natural part of the human experience, but it doesn't have to control us. In fact, overcoming self-doubt is one of the most critical steps toward achieving success. It's about learning to trust ourselves, believing in our abilities, and stepping into our own power with confidence. Self-doubt often arises when we compare ourselves to others, or when we're faced with a new challenge that feels overwhelming. We start questioning our worth, abilities, and whether we're truly capable of succeeding. We may begin to second-guess our decisions or feel like an imposter, afraid that others will find out we don't deserve to be where we are. This feeling of inadequacy can be incredibly paralyzing and prevent us from taking necessary risks or pursuing opportunities that could lead to success. However, the key to overcoming self-doubt is to recognize it for what it is, a temporary feeling that does not define our worth or our abilities. The first step in overcoming self-doubt is to acknowledge it. We need to accept that self-doubt is a normal and common experience. Every successful person, no matter how confident they appear, has dealt with self-doubt at some point in their journey. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not the absence of doubt, but their ability to push through it. Rather than allowing self-doubt to control us, we must learn to use it as a motivator. When self-doubt creeps in, instead of letting it hold us back, we can view it as an opportunity to challenge ourselves and prove to ourselves that we are capable of more than we think. One of the most effective ways to overcome self-doubt is to focus on our past successes. Reflecting on what we've already accomplished can serve as a reminder that we are capable and resilient. When we remember the obstacles we've already overcome, the skills we've developed, and the achievements we've earned, it becomes easier to recognize that we are capable of achieving even more. Building on these past successes helps to create a sense of confidence and reminds us that we have what it takes to continue moving forward. Another key to overcoming self-doubt is to stop seeking constant validation from others. While it's natural to want approval and recognition, relying on others to validate our worth can keep us stuck in a cycle of self-doubt. When we constantly seek external validation, we are giving our power away. True confidence comes from within. It's about trusting ourselves and our abilities, regardless of what others think. When we stop looking to others for approval and start trusting our own judgment, we can begin to act with more confidence and clarity. Taking action is also crucial in overcoming self-doubt. The more we act, the more we build our confidence. It's easy to get stuck in a cycle of overthinking and doubting ourselves, but the only way to break free is to take that first step. Even if we feel unsure or fearful, taking action is often the best way to push through self-doubt. The more we take action, the more we build our competence, which in turn boosts our confidence. Each small step we take towards our goals helps to silence the negative voice of self-doubt and reinforces the belief that we are capable of achieving great things. It's also important to remember that failure is not a reflection of our worth. Many people doubt themselves because they fear failure. But failure is an essential part of the learning process. Every failure offers valuable lessons that bring us closer to success. Rather than letting failure reinforce our self-doubt, we should see it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Embracing failure as a necessary part of success helps to shift our mindset and allows us to take risks without being held back by fear. Surrounding ourselves with positive, supportive people can also help to reduce self-doubt. The people we interact with play a significant role in shaping how we view ourselves. When we surround ourselves with individuals who believe in us, support our goals, and encourage us to keep going, it becomes easier to push through our doubts. Positive reinforcement and encouragement from others can be a powerful tool in building our confidence and overcoming self-doubt. Lastly, developing a growth mindset is essential in overcoming self-doubt. A growth mindset is the belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and perseverance. People with a growth mindset view challenges as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles to avoid. By adopting a growth mindset, we can learn to embrace challenges with enthusiasm, knowing that each challenge is an opportunity to improve and become better. This shift in perspective helps to build self-confidence because it reinforces the belief that we can always improve and grow, regardless of where we start. Overcoming self-doubt is a journey that requires self-awareness, self-compassion, and consistent effort. It's about recognizing that self-doubt is a natural part of the process, but it doesn't have to dictate our actions. By taking action, focusing on our past successes, trusting ourselves, and developing a growth mindset, we can break free from the grip of self-doubt and step into our true potential. When we embrace confidence, we unlock the power to achieve our goals and reach the heights of success that we once thought were beyond our reach. Number 8. The importance of taking risks and stepping out of your comfort zone. One of the most important elements of achieving success is the willingness to take risks. It's easy to stay within the confines of what's comfortable and familiar because it feels safe. We often believe that staying in our comfort zone shields us from failure or disappointment. But in reality, it is within this very space of comfort that growth stagnates. To truly achieve great things, to push ourselves toward our potential, we must be willing to step outside of our comfort zones and take risks. Taking risks is not about acting recklessly, but rather about embracing uncertainty, challenging ourselves, and making bold decisions in the pursuit of something greater. When we talk about risk-taking, we're often confronted by the fear of failure. It's a natural human instinct to want to avoid failure, as it can feel like a reflection of our inadequacy. However, what most people fail to understand is that failure is not a permanent state. It is an event, a stepping stone that provides valuable lessons. In fact, failure is often the most profound teacher we can encounter. It is through failure that we learn, grow, and refine our strategies for success. The people who have achieved the most extraordinary things in life have often experienced the greatest number of failures. But what sets them apart is their ability to keep going despite those failures. Taking risks opens the door to opportunities that would never present themselves within the confines of comfort. Think about some of the most successful innovators, entrepreneurs, or creators you admire. Chances are they have all taken risks. Whether it was quitting a stable job to pursue a dream, investing in something uncertain, or entering a market where success wasn't guaranteed. These individuals didn't have a crystal ball to see the future. They made decisions based on their passion, vision, and belief in themselves. It's this willingness to take risks that propels them to greater heights. Another reason risk-taking is essential for growth is that it forces us to face our fears and doubts. We all have an internal dialogue that sometimes tells us we're not good enough or that our ideas will fail. When we choose to take a risk, we are challenging those negative beliefs. We show ourselves that we are capable of more than we thought, that we can handle uncertainty and ambiguity, and that we can rise to the occasion when needed. Taking risks pushes us to expand our limits and stretch our capabilities. It forces us to ask ourselves, what's the worst that could happen? And how would I deal with failure if it comes? Often the answer to these questions helps us realize that the potential rewards far outweigh the risks. The act of taking risks is closely tied to growth, because without taking risks, we remain stagnant. It's easy to follow the path of least resistance, to continue doing what we know. But true growth only happens when we challenge ourselves. Whether it's trying something new, entering a new market, or pursuing a dream that feels impossible, these actions stretch us beyond our comfort zone. The discomfort of taking a risk often signifies that we are on the cusp of transformation. It's when we face the unknown that we discover new strengths and abilities we never knew we had. Moreover, taking risks often leads to unexpected rewards. Many great achievements are the result of taking risks that initially seemed daunting or uncertain. Think about a moment in your own life when you took a risk. Maybe you moved to a new place, took on a new responsibility, or started a project you were unsure about. Looking back, you may realize that the reward wasn't always the immediate outcome, but the lessons you learned, the confidence you gained, and the new opportunities that unfolded because of that decision. Even if the risk didn't pay off immediately, it often creates a ripple effect that leads to growth and opportunities you never anticipated. However, taking risks does not mean being reckless. It's essential to evaluate the risks carefully and make informed decisions. It's about weighing the potential rewards against the consequences of failure. Smart risk takers do their research, plan ahead, and prepare for the worst-case scenario, while remaining optimistic about the best-case scenario. It's important to remember that taking risks doesn't mean throwing caution to the wind. It means making decisions that push you out of your comfort zone while taking steps to mitigate the possible downsides. Even calculated risks require courage, but they allow for a more thoughtful approach to uncertainty. Stepping out of your comfort zone and taking risks also helps to break free from the paralysis that often comes with overthinking. Many people delay taking action because they are afraid of making the wrong decision or failing. But the truth is, not taking action is often the biggest risk of all. By staying in the same place, we miss opportunities for growth, learning, and progress. When we take risks, we move forward, even if it means taking small steps. Each risk, no matter how small, gets us closer to where we want to be. One of the most significant benefits of risk-taking is the boost in self-confidence that comes with it. Each time we take a risk, we prove to ourselves that we are capable of handling uncertainty. We start to trust ourselves more, knowing that we have the resilience to face challenges head-on. This self-trust becomes a powerful force, driving us to continue taking risks and pursuing our goals with more confidence and determination. Ultimately, taking risks is a fundamental part of personal and professional growth. It is through stepping out of our comfort zones and embracing uncertainty that we unlock our true potential. The fear of failure will always exist, but it is not the absence of fear that leads to success. It is the courage to act in spite of it. So the next time you face a decision that feels risky, remember that risk is the gateway to opportunity. Embrace it and allow it to propel you toward the success and growth you deserve. Number 9, the power of persistence and consistency. One of the most crucial ingredients in the recipe for success is persistence. It's not enough to simply have talent or ideas. It's the ability to keep going, even when the path is difficult, that separates those who achieve their dreams from those who give up along the way. Persistence is the driving force that pushes us to keep moving forward, despite challenges, setbacks, and obstacles. It's about continuing to show up, to put in the work, and to stay focused on your goals, even when the results aren't immediate or obvious. But persistence alone isn't enough. It needs to be paired with consistency. Consistency is the daily effort, the routine, the commitment to continually push forward, regardless of how small the progress may seem at the time. When combined, persistence and consistency become an unstoppable force that can lead you to success. The power of persistence lies in its ability to transform failures into stepping stones toward achievement. No journey to success is free of setbacks. Every successful person has faced challenges, experienced failure, or hit roadblocks along the way. However, what distinguishes those who succeed from those who give up is their willingness to keep going. Success doesn't happen overnight, and the road is rarely straight. There will be days when the results don't come, when things don't go as planned, or when it feels like all efforts are in vain. This is when persistence is needed the most. Instead of throwing in the towel, persistent individuals continue to work, adapt, and refine their approach. They see every failure as an opportunity to learn and adjust, knowing that each setback is simply part of the journey. Persistence also means not allowing the opinions or judgments of others to deter you. There will always be naysayers, people who doubt your abilities or question your goals. These people may offer well-meaning advice, but their doubts are often rooted in their own fears or limitations. If you allow their skepticism to sway your actions, you risk losing sight of your own dreams. Persistence means staying true to your vision, despite what others think. It means trusting in your abilities, even when others might not see your potential. When you persist, you're making a commitment to yourself and to your own success, and that commitment is worth more than any external validation. Consistency, on the other hand, is about creating a habit of action. It's easy to feel motivated for a few days or weeks, especially when you're excited about a new goal or project. But motivation often fades when the novelty wears off or when the initial excitement dwindles. This is where consistency becomes vital. Consistency ensures that you continue to put in the effort every day, regardless of how you feel or whether you see immediate results. It's about showing up, doing the work, and sticking to your routines, even on the days when you don't feel like it. Consistency is the key that unlocks long-term progress, because it ensures that your efforts compound over time. The beauty of persistence and consistency is that they work together to build momentum. The more you persist, the more you build the habit of consistency, and the more consistently you show up, the more persistent you become. Each day of action adds to the foundation of success you are creating, and over time, the small efforts compound to produce significant results. The journey might feel slow at first, but as you persist and remain consistent, you'll start to notice changes. Your skills will improve, your confidence will grow, and your goals will start to become more attainable. One of the reasons persistence and consistency are so powerful is that they help to eliminate the need for perfection. Many people avoid taking action or get stuck in a cycle of overthinking because they feel they need to do things perfectly. They wait for the right moment or the perfect conditions. But the truth is, perfection is an illusion. The path to success is filled with imperfection, mistakes, and learning experiences. Persistence and consistency allow you to move forward even when things aren't perfect, knowing that progress is better than stagnation. Every step you take, no matter how small or imperfect, is a step closer to your goal. The key is to keep going, no matter what, and to trust that your continued effort will eventually lead to success. Another important aspect of persistence and consistency is their ability to build resilience. As you persist and face challenges, you begin to develop mental toughness and resilience. You learn to handle rejection, disappointment, and failure without giving up. With each setback, you become stronger and more determined. Resilience is a crucial trait for success because it allows you to bounce back quickly and keep going, even when life throws you off course. It's not about avoiding adversity. It's about having the strength to face it and continue moving forward. Persistence and consistency also build trust, not only with yourself, but also with others. When you consistently show up, do the work, and push through challenges, people begin to trust your ability to follow through. Whether it's in business, relationships, or personal goals, consistency is one of the most reliable ways to build credibility and trust. People see that you're dependable, that you're committed, and that you're willing to put in the effort to achieve your goals. This trust, in turn, opens doors to new opportunities and partnerships that can help you accelerate your journey to success. At the end of the day, persistence and consistency are the foundation upon which success is built. No matter how talented you are or how grand your dreams may be, without the willingness to keep going and the discipline to stay consistent, success will remain elusive. But when you combine persistence with consistency, you develop the strength and resilience needed to overcome obstacles, bounce back from failure, and ultimately achieve your goals. Success isn't about making huge leaps. It's about taking small, consistent steps every day and refusing to give up. So commit to being persistent and consistent, and you'll find that your dreams are within reach, one step at a time. Number 10. The importance of keeping your focus and staying driven in a world full of distractions. One of the most powerful traits you can develop is the ability to stay focused. Focus is the cornerstone of success because it enables you to prioritize what truly matters, block out unnecessary noise, and dedicate your energy to your most important goals. While the path to success is rarely straightforward and filled with challenges, distractions often derail even the most well-intentioned efforts. Without focus, it's easy to lose sight of what you're working toward, allowing fleeting interests, external pressures, or the opinions of others to guide your actions. Staying focused isn't about simply keeping your attention fixed on a task. It's about maintaining a long-term vision and being intentional about where you direct your energy. To stay focused, it's crucial to have a clear understanding of what you want to achieve and why it matters to you. Your goals should be well-defined, specific, and tied to your passions or values. When you have a clear vision, you can create a roadmap that helps you stay on track, even when obstacles arise. This vision acts as a guiding light, giving you a sense of purpose and direction when times get tough. With focus, you can filter out the distractions that may come your way and stay committed to your long-term objectives. It's like having a destination in mind when you're navigating through a dense forest. You keep walking towards it, no matter the challenges, because you know it's worth the effort. However, maintaining focus requires more than just understanding your goals. It demands discipline and the ability to say no to things that do not align with your vision. In today's hyper-connected world, we are constantly bombarded with new opportunities, new trends, and new ideas. While many of these may seem interesting or exciting, not all of them will contribute to your progress. It's easy to get caught up in what others are doing or follow every new shiny object that appears. But if you want to achieve meaningful success, you must learn to stay committed to your goals and avoid the temptation of distractions. This means saying no to things that divert your attention away from what truly matters, and focusing on activities that propel you closer to your vision. Staying focused also requires managing your time effectively. Time is one of the most valuable resources we have, and once it's gone, it can't be reclaimed. People who achieve great success understand the importance of time management. They know how to allocate their time to high-priority tasks, eliminate time-wasting activities, and work in a way that maximizes their productivity. It's easy to waste hours scrolling through social media or engaging in mindless entertainment, but successful people are intentional with how they spend their time. They create schedules, set deadlines, and use tools that help them track their progress. By consistently focusing on the most important tasks, they can achieve more in less time. Equally important is the ability to overcome setbacks without losing focus. Life will inevitably throw challenges your way. And when things don't go according to plan, it can be tempting to become discouraged or distracted. However, the ability to remain focused during tough times is a hallmark of successful individuals. They understand that setbacks are part of the process, and that staying focused on their goals will help them navigate through the difficulties. When you stay focused, you don't let adversity define your path. Instead, you see it as a temporary hurdle that you can overcome. This mindset allows you to maintain momentum and stay driven, even when things seem uncertain. The key to staying focused and driven is also maintaining a sense of passion and motivation. It's easy to lose focus if you're not truly passionate about what you're doing. When your work feels like a chore or you lack a deep sense of purpose, it's harder to stay committed. That's why it's essential to identify what drives you and align your goals with your passions. When you are excited about your goals and deeply connected to them, focus becomes natural. The energy and drive to work on your objectives come from within, making it easier to ignore distractions and stay on course. Passion fuels persistence, and motivation gives you the strength to keep moving forward, even when the journey is tough. Another powerful tool for staying focused is creating an environment that supports your goals. Your physical and mental environment can have a significant impact on your ability to concentrate and stay driven. If your workspace is cluttered or filled with distractions, it can be hard to stay on task. Take the time to create an environment that promotes focus, whether it's through organizing your workspace, setting boundaries with others, or eliminating unnecessary distractions. Additionally, your mental environment matters. Surround yourself with people who support your goals and encourage your focus. Having a strong support system can help you stay motivated, especially when the going gets tough. Focus is not about being rigid or inflexible. It's about being adaptable and making smart decisions along the way. Successful individuals are able to stay focused on their long-term vision, but they also understand the importance of adapting their approach as needed. The ability to pivot when necessary, adjust your strategies, or learn from feedback is crucial for success. Staying focused means having the discipline to stick to your vision while also being open-minded enough to course correct when new information or circumstances arise. The final piece of the puzzle is recognizing that staying focused is a marathon, not a sprint. It's easy to burn out if you try to go all in without taking the time to recharge. Balance is key. Ensuring that you make time for rest, self-care, and relaxation will help you maintain your focus over the long haul. Being driven doesn't mean working yourself into exhaustion. It means being smart about how you allocate your energy and making sure you take care of yourself along the way. In conclusion, focus and drive are essential components of success. By staying focused on your goals, managing your time effectively, and blocking out distractions, you can make meaningful progress toward your dreams. Keep your eyes on the prize, and don't let setbacks or distractions derail your efforts. The ability to stay focused, even during challenging times, is what ultimately separates those who achieve their goals from those who don't. Stay committed, stay disciplined, and keep your focus sharp, and you will find that success is not just a possibility, it's inevitable. As we come to the end of this journey together, I want to leave you with a powerful reminder. Actions speak louder than words. Never tell people what you do, show them the result, is more than just a catchy phrase. It's a philosophy that can shape your life and help you achieve greatness. In a world where talk is cheap, where everyone seems to have something to say, it's the results that matter most. Your achievements, the impact you create, and the success you generate are the true measures of your worth. The results you produce are what people remember, respect, and are inspired by. It's easy to talk about what you want to achieve, to share your dreams and goals with others, but the real power lies in letting your results speak for themselves. Words may be convincing in the short term, but they don't carry the same weight as tangible outcomes. When you focus on delivering results and staying consistent in your efforts, you let your actions do the talking. People will begin to recognize you for your accomplishments rather than your promises. They will see the fruits of your labor and be drawn to your success, not because you told them what you do, but because you showed them the power of what you can achieve. The road to success is rarely linear. There will be setbacks, challenges, and moments of doubt. However, by staying focused on delivering results, you will overcome these obstacles and prove to yourself and the world that you are capable of achieving great things. You will build resilience, confidence, and trust, not only in others, but in your own abilities. And most importantly, you will inspire those around you to take action and pursue their own goals, teaching them the value of hard work and determination. Remember, the greatest testament to your abilities is not in the words you say, but in the results you show. So keep working, keep growing, and never stop striving to show the world what you are capable of. Your actions will speak for themselves, and the results will follow.